Hello, hello, good morning. Before we get started, something important happened in Kinseed. Behold, you can change your sibling's name. Isn't that nice? Now you won't just call them sibling all the time. Wow. Anyways, I also bought a bunch of games and yeah, so. Hi, how are you? Good morning. Yeah, you would just call them sibling the whole time, and it's just like, okay, like, hello, sibling, that I've, like, and not only are you siblings, you're also twins. So, like, how informal. Twins are usually very close together, assuming, like, they're had, like, good interactions together. In any case, I believe we're at the end of Valhalla now. We're gonna have a New Year's party. Happy New Year! To work! I want my magical girl TV. Okay, you guys, so at my day job, I heard this completely insane story, okay? I think about it to this day. So I was training a girl at my day job, and she told me that she knew somebody who named their kids all the same name. And I'm not talking like variations of the same name. They were all like John, 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 and John. Like, what kind of, like she named them all John. Like, I don't understand. And so I went to college and I'm a sociology major. And so I just cannot stop thinking about it. Like, what, I mean, like, I can't remember what their real names was, but it's like just John, 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 like, what the fuck? Or like John Juniors. And like the thing is, like, so there was like more than two. There was like, yeah, no, there was like 6, but they were all like siblings. Like, imagine like having the same name as all of your siblings. Like, they were all boys, and there was like 6 of them, and they were all named like the same thing. What kind of sociopathic behavior? Can you imagine the impact on your child? Can you imagine like calling your son, okay, here, come here, number 1, come here, number 2, like being called a number by your mom, like, and we were cracking some jokes, like, dang, she didn't know how to get to the baby book, she didn't know how to name, like, her names, she's all she had, like, I mean, it's just so, and then she showed me proof, like, she showed me their Facebook profile, and I was like, you're kidding, like, you're not screwing with me, really, like, I was so shaken that I still can't stop thinking about it to this day. I mean, what kind of... What? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? And they weren't even juniors. Like, they weren't like John Juniors. They were just like, just John. Like, they weren't named after their dad or their grandpa or anything. Yes, I guess you can just name humans whatever. I was just so... I still think about it to this day. It's very odd. It's like so depersonalized, like... Anyways, back to the bartender game. Well, let's see. Gil is in the back getting everything ready. I'll go grab some food I've ordered. They only agreed to work on New Year's if I went to pick it up myself. Are you alright? I'm scared. Gabby will show up at any minute. Relax, everything will be alright. I can assure you of that. Drink something. Maybe that'll cheer you up. Maybe. I'll leave you for a bit, but keep your chin up. If you get through this, I'll give you, I don't know, a hug. Does that work? A hug? Jill has a big fat crush on her boss, okay? She has a poster of her in her room. A big one. A reward for after everything's said and done. Gotta go. You can do it. Right. Everything's fine. You've been avoiding this for all these years. Now it's time to face it head on. Yeah, everything's fine. Everything will be better after I talk to Gabby. Boss might even give me a hug. I'm okay. Hello. Gabby. Come in. Excuse me. Welcome to Valhalla. Hey. You talk first. No, well, Some days ago, I got a letter. And even odder getting a letter is the fact that it was from your sister. A what? My sister sent you a letter? That's the first I've heard of it. What did it say? I don't know. I never opened it. At least not until now. Huh? I figured I should read it with you. Yeah, let's do it. Let's read it. All right then. Sorry. Just that? Yep. Isn't there anything else in the letter? Maybe on the back? This is just like your sister. I spent days worried about this letter, not wanting to open it for fear of what it might contain. I lost sleep and appetite thinking about it. And after all those worries, after all those problems, after all these years not talking to her, she sends me a letter. A fucking letter of all things. And she just says, sorry? Sorry for what? For our fight? For not talking all these years? Ah, now I'm fucking pissed. Are you laughing? Sorry, I remember all the times my sis provoked you that way. Like that time where she gave you chocolates labeled 1, 2, and 4 during Valentine's Day. And you were pissed about the lack of a 3. Or that time when you left an unopened beer bottle on the table, she sneakily opened it and took a sip. She didn't tell you she did it, and you were confused all day long. She always bragged she knew me like the back of my hand. If the letter was supposed to piss me off like that, I guess she had all the rights to brag. Maybe she was being sincere, though. She did express to me that she was sorry on more than one occasion. She did, huh? You told me she died from localized nanomachine rejection, right? In her heart, yeah. Instead of the massive rejection that always makes the news, her case was more focused. They usually amputate or replace a part and call it a day. But organs are different. The condition made her susceptible to transplant rejections. Not to mention artificial hearts and generic treatments are out of the question. Yep. Thing is, apparently she suffered that since she was 18 but kept it a secret from everyone. Why? Hell if I know. I was angry to learn that she hid it. Why didn't she tell me? Was it to avoid worrying me? Was she ashamed? What was it? Wait, how did she live so normally then? She had to use a serum, shots near her heart every 3 days. Apparently the serum burns like hell. The shot even left her a nasty mark where she had to apply them. So the thing near her left breast wasn't a birthmark? And the rejection was what ended up killing her? The nanomachine rejection was what ended up killing her, but they couldn't find what made her so vulnerable. The doctor said she might have missed a shot, or the shots made her other defenses grow weaker. The condition could have just gone nuts out of nowhere, or maybe it was blood pressure. Maybe it was a regular heart attack and the rejection acted afterwards. They don't know. She kept it a secret from everyone, so nobody knows. Maybe if she had told me about it, I could have helped her. Maybe she would still be alive. Maybe she would have faced it all alone instead of just dying in her sleep. Thinking about what ifs won't bring her back. Eh? I spent so much time hammering myself with what ifs after you told me she died. What if I waited to cool down a bit back then? What if I had just swallowed my fears at that very moment? What if I had apologized earlier? What if I had given a chance to the research institute back then? And the amount just increased threefold after I lashed out at you the other day. But today I realized something. Having such regrets with the dead is a hollow effort. You're alive, you're here, I can make amends with you, but I can't make amends with the dead. I can't apologize to her like I can apologize to you right now. Jill. Lenore, she's resting now. She's just resting after having that heart condition all these years. She didn't have to face it alone, though. If she only... So, let's celebrate her life and achievements. If we are to mourn, let's mourn her together. If we are to honor her, we'll do it together. Together. Lenore was a fun-loving person. The best we can do right now is try to lighten up, even if it's only for a moment. I need to ask, though, did she really start to complain about the chest pain shortly after I left? No. She didn't get visibly worse after you left or anything. Everything was actually too sudden. She did complain about chest pains from time to time, but that actually goes way back before you left. Back then, we thought it was just acid reflux or something. Gods, I even blamed her death on you. I was just too angry back then, and part of me just wanted to put the blame on someone or something. And you didn't deserve that. Sorry. Hey, I'm sorry too, you know? We both have things to apologize for. Don't think too much about it. I should have been mature and not shouted at you either, so let's just call that all water under the bridge, shall we? Are you sure? Of course I am. So how did you find me exactly? Well, have you heard of a message board called Danger/You? I have, yeah. Well, truth is that I visit it from time to time. And the other day I read a thread that discussed the bar. And the description of the bartender sounded just like you. Are you mad? No, not mad, more like dumbfounded. Hey Jill, can you tell me what the problem was back then? What sparked that fight? Weren't you happy with my sister? Well, back then I didn't know what to do with myself after I graduated college. I went in and pretty much hated my last couple years there. It's not far-fetched to think that I only tolerated being there because your sister was with me. Had she stopped supporting my studies, I would have quit right then and there. And then after graduating, I got a very good job offer that she accepted on my behalf in no time. She kept saying it was the best for me and my future, but I was livid. Why did she have to do that? I hated it. I didn't even know if I wanted to go there, but she still insisted so much. Like she was forcing that burden on me. And that my became our future, and she started talking about marriage. You were going to get married? I don't think we ever took it seriously. It was just something she kept mentioning. Not like we didn't think about that down the line, but she mostly teased me with it. But the thought suddenly scared the shit out of me. I loved her, but I don't think I was ready for such a commitment, especially considering what she did. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I wasn't going to let her decide such a big thing for me. I mean, she could be really pushy from time to time. Like I said, I pretty much passed college thanks to being with her, and that was partially because she was so pushy. Even if she had the best intentions, she could be abrasive from time to time. And it rained down on me at that moment. She took it upon herself to make that choice for me. What would have stopped her once we'd gotten married? What if she suddenly decided to craft my life to her needs after marriage? I knew her. She would do it thinking it was the best for me, but what about my freedom, my say on the matter? So that's where you stopped loving Lenore? No. I never stopped loving her, which is why it hurts so much, but you have to understand. I didn't want to wake up 40 years old and working a job I hate. Just out of routine, getting used to it. I wanted a break from everything for a while to put my thoughts in order. Regroup myself, think carefully about what to do next. I can understand. I've sometimes felt the same, although I'm not even in college. So that's what led you to fighting, huh? You know, the word fight makes it sound like we exchanged blows or something. It's all silly when I think back to it. Tragically silly. Maybe I was the one who started the fight, getting all defensive about not wanting to take that offer. Perhaps if I didn't overreact to her arguments about wasting this huge opportunity, maybe she wouldn't have lashed out at me this bad. It could have been avoided if I had just kept a cool head and talked about that with her. My sister said something like that. Huh? I told you she mentioned on more than one occasion how sorry she was about the whole thing, right? Should have listened to her in the end, but instead I kept pushing her. I should have kept a cool head instead of letting my jealousy take the best of me. It was her offer, not mine. Should have stopped projecting myself so much onto her. Something like that. Lenore. We are quite the hot-heads. You, me, my sis. You were supposed to be the mature one, you know? Play your role correctly. But why didn't you come back, Jill? Did you end up hating us that much? Did the break include us too? No, it's just that... Remember when your sister was giving a class and you broke a window? How you didn't want to see her for fear of being scolded? But my sister wouldn't have scolded you. But I was afraid, dead afraid. I couldn't bring myself to face your sister. But I faced her back then. I was like 7 at the time. Why couldn't you do it? Gabby, girl, it's not quite the same. And in perspective, no matter what reason I came up with, it will never make sense. Everything sounds very stupid when I look back, you know? Not that it makes things easier. I won't ever get to speak to her ever again, and it feels bad because it's stupid. I swear, you and my sis were meant for one another. You both moved on after all that, but neither had the courage to go back and say you're sorry. And like I said, berating myself over those past mistakes won't bring her back. I miss her so much, though. We were all together all the time, always talking about dumb stuff. I wouldn't call my parents useless, but she was the one I could always talk to. I feel her absence every day. Everything is just so quiet now. She was an amazing person. Yeah, she was an amazing person. Eh? Mourning is fine and all, but we should be celebrating her life. If she was here, she would tell us that there's no fun in sulking for so long. She told you that all the time. The same way she told you to stop rubbing things in people's faces. Both figuratively and literally. Hey, I was 8 back then. So, let's have a toast in her honor, shall we? A toast? Yeah, let me get you a drink. A drink? Don't worry, trust me. I think she's underage, so we should get her something like... something sweet, so... Sparkle Star. Grab this for a sec. Okay. Lenore, I know you're watching from the beyond right now as I give a drink to your little sister. It's obvious to me now that we both were meant to make amends at some point, but we never got around to it. I can't apologize to you anymore, but I can at the very least make you rest easier. So know that I'll look out for Gabby in your absence. I'll make sure Gabby grows into a fine woman just like you were. I'll always be there for her. I'll be sure the little brat doesn't face the same problem you and I had. Hey! Want to add anything? I'll always miss her. Don't say it to me, say it to her. That's a bit... Come on, just this once. I'll always miss you, sis. Sis. Sis, you idiot. Why did you keep that secret for so long? Idiot. Idiot. I always told you everything. Wasn't I enough, you idiotic idiot? Ah! Hey, Jill. Promise me you won't be like that knucklehead, that you won't keep stuff like that to yourself. Only if you promise the same to me. And promise me we won't fight. I can't do that. Eh? You and I are both too thick-headed. Sooner or later, we'll clash on some opinion. But what I can promise is that I won't run away like last time. We'll both cool off and talk it over like adults we are. I'm not an adult. Let's face it, you've been more mature than I have. Hey, did you mean what you said? That you'll look after me? I'll always be here for you, Gabby. I mean, I'm not Lenore, but I wouldn't dare leave my little sister alone. Jill. Hey, wasn't this a toast? Right. For Lenore, faithful sister and girlfriend. Cheers! Cheers! So, about this drink. Can I drink it? Do you like it? Take a sip. It's not bad. Why not drink it then? You're with an adult. We might as well break the alcohol taboo here and now. I didn't put alcohol in it! Right. Now that I think back to it, didn't your sister give you a beer once as a prank? Oh yeah, that. It was April Fool's. I should have known better when she offered me apple soda. I put bubblegum on the soles of all her shoes in retaliation. She walked funny and my jaw hurt for the rest of the day. Yeah, but did you know you got my drink that time? Huh? She gave me a beer and it turned out to be apple soda. Oh. Did you get back at her? Well, I did hide all the dildos in the house that night, only to find out she knew how to use a cucumber. No, don't do that! And as a follow-up, she used the same cucumber in a salad and days later. No! She said, so, do you like eating me for lunch? Jill? I'll tell you when you're older. Or never at all. Hey, Gabby, do your parents know you're here? They think I'm at Claire's, actually. Who? Oh, she's my best friend at school. And this Claire knows you're using her as an excuse, right? Of course. How would she cover for me otherwise? True. Will you go to her house afterwards? To be honest, I didn't think that far. Maybe I will. I do live in another district, but Claire's doesn't live close by, so... Well, it can't be helped. I live nearby, and the streets aren't exactly safe at night. Why not stay with me tonight? Are you sure? I don't live in a mansion, but I'd say it's comfy enough, at least to spend the night. Sure, I'd love to stay with you. Great. Hey, does your dad still have that bakery? His bread was really good. Yep, he opened a second branch last year. So he's looking to expand? I think he got into a partnership with a friend in Motor District. The guy saw an opportunity after realizing Motor District has almost no bakeries. I still remember when your sister introduced me to him. He started shouting, I knew it! I fucking knew you were a lesbian! Mark 1 for daddy! I think he had this bet with an acquaintance of his ever since my sis was 12 years old or so. Oh my god. Dad said sis was into girls. The acquaintance didn't believe him. He bet a beer on whether he was right or not. The beer bottle is still in the fridge. It is even labeled Sweet Victory. Your mom and Lenore never made up, did they? I guess that one wasn't as simple as the said one too many things argument. Mom always obsessed with high society in her circle of friends. A lesbian daughter was a no-no. I'm still on my sis's side for that one, though. Mom didn't reject her because she herself was homophobic. She did it because her friends were. To Mom, the opinion of her circle of friends was much more than her own daughter. Boo! Boo, we hate that. Boo. How did she react to her death? Dunno. Mom and Dad broke up 2 years ago. They did? They never got married, so there was no proper divorce. I haven't seen her since August, I think. Did you two fight too? No, she just hasn't showed up. Deadbeat Mom! Boo! Boo! You must have felt alone, huh? I've been there. A bit, but I'm not alone anymore, thanks to you. Huh, I thought there was going to be a party here. Alma, over here. Party? A small New Year's celebration. Want to stay for it? I don't want a kid to burn in. Don't worry, you won't. You only get cola for the night though, no alcohol. It'll give us time to catch up even more. I can introduce you to some friends, are you in? If you don't mind me. Great. Hey, Alma, come here, there's someone I want to introduce to you. This game has like the slowest transitions, dude. Like, hurry it up. Let's go. Maybe I'm just impatient. Now, this isn't the end. The credits are gonna roll, but then there's more stuff after it, assuming I did stuff right. I think I did most stuff right. I might not get all the endings, but we have to go to Kita Miki's concert! We have tickets, baby! I feel like Valhalla itself isn't necessarily a long game, but having to read everything was just kind of like, it felt long. And like also I did voices and stuff, maybe I shouldn't have done that. But it makes it easier to tell who's talking if I do like kind of a different voice for each person at least. But phew, my day job, I talk all day. I talk all day. All I do is talk. I'm on the phone. So it's kind of like, oh, here we go again. But I had fun. But it's also nice to, when I switched over to Reseteer for a little bit, it was nice to like have that little break. Yes, talking hard but game fun. It'd be nice if there was a little more like bartending stuff, but it is what it is. And if you missed any parts, I do have VODs up, and I do have a VODs YouTube, so you can like skip like on YouTube or whatever. I personally enjoy YouTube. I like always watch this guy's VODs on YouTube. He's called Ambiguous Amphibian. He does stream, but I'm always like, you know, at my day job. So I like watching his VODs. He did like this game called Project Zomboid. And I'm scared of zombies, okay, full stop. I can't play a zombie game, sorry. But I like watching him like do like little challenges and stuff. He's like, how long can I survive with the worst traits and stuff? But yeah, I do enjoy VODs. I like to put those on when I'm like doing, I don't know, like a craft or whatever. It's nice to have some kind of like background sounds. Did you have fun? Yeah, I had fun. Thank you, game. Thank you for asking. Yep, I also got to meet a cat boomer. Why did your boss hug you, though? Oh, okay. Let's see. This is Jill and Gabby, okay. Oh, I can't click. Okay. She's that kind of person. Now let's sleep. You were dozing off back there. You're right. Good night, Jill. We'll play some more tomorrow. Good night. Wow, 2016. That feels like it was so long ago, but also like yesterday. You know what I mean? It feels weird that we're like in the 20s, like 2020. Can I click? Can I go? I would like to go now. Okay. Thank you. Friday, February 3rd. This is good. Really good. You have no idea how long I've wanted some curry. Oh, okay. I know what this is. I remember I meant to eat some, but then I had to pay for some drinks I spilled on the floor. That screwed up my budget. It's the least... His little question mark is gone. He's naked. He's nude. It's the least I can do after being such an obnoxious client. Yeah, about that. Mind if I ask something, Mr. Timothy Mercury? So, you know? It's a small city. Turns out 2 very grateful girls soon became regulars, and both of them were related to you. So, what's your question, bartender? Just call me Jill. 2 questions, actually. The first one is, why did they brand you as a traitor? Because you killed the other guy? I don't know. It sounds weird considering the other guy assaulted 2 little girls. So Virgilio saved Ray and Stella from another white knight who attacked them, and he like gouged out Stella's eye, and so he saved them. He killed the other guy. It was a cover-up. The guy was my superior. A high-ranking officer like him assaulting innocent civilians? That would be unthinkable. On paper, at least. On record, I hurt the girls and killed him before another unit subdued me, then I escaped their custody. In reality... That's all I needed to know. Sorry for bringing all that up. Didn't you have another question? Yeah. How did you build this restaurant so fast? It's a small city. Turns out 2 very grateful girls tracked me down to thank me. One of them was rich and the other noticed I smelled like curry. Those 2 are really nice girls, huh? They didn't deserve what that bastard did to them. Excuse me. Oh, speaking of the angels. Timmy, 2 special curries, please. Oh, hi, Jill. Oh god, I can't believe I'm actually here. The concert will begin any second now. Yeah! Wow, I've never seen her so openly excited before. Don't talk too loudly or you'll startle her. It's always nice to see her happy. She doesn't give a damn and lets herself go. You sure you don't mind me? Of course not. That way I won't be the only one with a little clue as to what's going on. Is it true that you served this Kita Miki girl at the bar? That's amazing as it sounds. Really nice girl, if a bit oblivious to the risks some people represent. How so? She doesn't mind stalkers and such. Oh. How are your wounds? Arm's doing fine, eyes healing nicely, and I can sleep better at night. Just what transpired inside that bank? It's not important anymore. What's important is that Stella will get me a job after I heal. She will? She's rebuilding a new armor set for me and wants me to be her bodyguard. I'd be paid for something I do anyways, and I get to spend more time with her. That's nice. I'd like to spread out and help more people, but it's a nice start. You want to be a vigilante then? Maybe. Ah! She's coming out! She's her! She's actually her! Look, it started. Are you here, Jill? This song's for you! What? Imagine like all the other people named Jill being like, ah, yes! I can't believe you actually made me do that sleepover thing. You didn't have to accept, you know. Shut up. I'm having a good time. See, even Gabby's having fun. Relax a bit. Yeah, whatever. You know, Alma, you remind me a bit of my sis. I do? How? You always manage to get a reaction from Jill. Sis always said that Jill acknowledging your presence is the best way to know she likes you. You're talking too much, Gabby. Oh. It's different with you, though. With my sis, Jill was more frustrated. Like this one time where she brought her a shirt that You're talking too much. Oh, is it the slut shirt? There's a shirt in Jill's room that says slut on it. I love that shirt. I think it's funny. You're talking too much, little girl. A shirt that what? That had a pic of a cucumber on it. Oh, okay. Cucumber. Ow, just what are you doing with my hair? Sorry, it got stuck on one of my fingers. Seriously. So I'm a bit like Lenore then. No, you just remind me of her a bit. Moreover, my sister wasn't as ass. What the girl's trying to say is that your tits and ass, you could build Lenore a Lenore and a half out of the mass. That just means there's enough to share with both of you. Share? You're talking too much, Alma. So yeah, this guy had a fantasy about a woman castrating him. I tried for an hour to convince him it's a bad idea, and I finally got to him. We finally moved to the bedroom, and it turns out the guy has a weird implant where his testicles should be. It's basically a removable ball sack. I suppose the guy really liked that fantasy and made sure he could live it out properly. I once saw a guy in the hospital in the emergency room after having been castrated to fulfill a fantasy. I wonder if it's the same guy. I have enough problems with just one, you know? Just one what? Was just listening to one of your anecdotes. You told me about the Tijuana thing, and now this. Don't you have a more subdued story? Come on, Joe, you're an adult. You can take that much. Shut up. Well, last time I spoke with my mom, I asked her to get the story of her daughter. Turns out her name was Anna. The ghost girl. Huh. And now you pretend it's a surprise. Quiet, you. She fought against nanomachine rejection for most of her life. She even lost a girlfriend she made in the hospital to that same sickness. Apparently, sometime after she got out of treatment, a truck hit her and killed her. But even then, she was amazing. She was? Eh? Yeah, she kept up her studies while still in the hospital. She was a self-taught honors student. Not only that, but she also ranked among the top 5 candidates in at least 3 college admission exams. She also played the piano and guitar. Well, being confined to a room does that, I guess. I mean, fully able-bodied people can barely do half of that. But she practically accomplished all that by herself. And she also beat nanomachine rejection, a disease that only 2% of humans suffer and thus survive. It took a trucking truck to take her down. She was great. And I think that I'm sort of like her sister. And to think I'm sort of like her sister. So Dorothy's guardian, who she now calls mom, which she's basically her mom, was Anna's mom, but Anna died. So Dorothy's kind of like, not a replacement daughter, but like, they've come to see each other as family. Silly Becky. Honey, did you say something? I did not. Weird, I swear I heard someone call me Silly Becky. Come again? It's not uncommon for me to hear stuff from far away and to think I've heard it nearby, but you're the only one nearby that knows my real name, so it was weird. Oh well, as I was saying, the ballsack guy. I guess this is where we part ways, huh? Sadly, I'm bound to this city. I can only falsify my identity effectively around here. I really want to thank you, Chief, for the second chance you gave me. If we ever cross paths again, Gil, we're leaving for like a week and a half or something. Don't be so dramatic. But And you're taking care of my apartment, and we will cross paths because I live there. The time you spend setting up a useless parallel could be used asking me things about the place. Like where the switches and valves are. But I already know. They're in that control panel you made. But I like talking about the control panel. I'm proud of it. Speaking of obsessive likes, Jill, stop calling Armitage Alma. She'll be taking care of your 4-ball just fine. I'm not worried about him. I'm worried about me. I've never been away from 4 this long. I don't know what I'll do. You'll do just fine. You did pretty well for at least 25 years before finding him. Yes, but... We're leaving. Oh yeah, before I forget. I left you a box of condoms on the first drawer of the desk, Gil. You what? You what? Hey, if he wants to bring his new girlfriend or whatever here, I want him to be ready. Oh, but just on one condition. If you're gonna fuck like rabbits, stay away from my room. I have too many pics of my Emoto there, and I don't want their eyes soiled. Emoto who? Little sister. Then just say little sister. Yeah, whatever. First stop, Panama. Yay!